welcome you to the first episode of Mind My Business. Our idea here with this podcast is to not only help individuals understand entrepreneurship and different business things, but also to highlight your business and to give some information out to would-be customers or past customers of what to look for and to show why you have a unique niche within a field that's pretty wide, right?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Excited for you. First show.
Yeah.
Big deal.
I know, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've done this for a while, probably not as long as you've done roofing, but that's probably where I wanted to start is, when we're thinking about things as kids, I personally always thought I was going to be in the NBA until I was in ninth grade, maybe 10th grade.
NHL for me.
NHL, yeah. And so it's you don't see a lot of 7-year-olds outside being oh, let's play roofer.
Right. Yeah.
So
I don't know any of them.
yeah. So what got you into roofing? You can give 3,000 foot view, but how did you get there?
So when I was 19, I started a lawn care and landscaping company.
Okay.
And so I was doing that, and I had a buddy that was in the roofing industry, and he seemed to really like it. And it was a straight commission job for him though.
Okay.
And so by the time I was about 21, I kept knocking on his door and beating him and say, hey, listen, I want to get involved in what you've got going on. You really seem to enjoy it. I'd like to speak to your sales manager. So after about 6 weeks of annoying him, I got in front of the sales manager, and the sales manager brought me on board. And so from about 7 to 4, I learned the roofing industry. And then from about 4:30 on till it was dark, I would go home, grab my trailer, go out, cut grass all weekend, do little landscaping projects on the weekend, and just worked until I could phase that out to a buddy. And so he picked up the accounts, and then I was steadfast in the roofing industry. So, and I enjoyed it. I was serving people, being able to transform their homes. Right. It was very rewarding.
Well, it sounds like that's kind of not an easy transition or necessarily a fluid one, but they both have a lot of similarities, right? You like the idea of there was a reward for you in watching a product start to finish.
Yep.
Building something with your hands, whether it's landscaping or roofing.
Right. It's beautiful. With roofing, it's like paint. You can paint a room and have instant gratification. Right. With many roofs, you can get them done in a day or two, and it completely transforms the home.
Painting is something that I got into as a college kid, as a side hustle. And one thing that I never expected is the difficulty of painting, because I watched 80s and 90s movies montages where they're playing with the roller and it's cute. Done. I didn't understand all the holidays and the blind spots and the things that go into edging. And I was this is a real craft.
It's a real craft.
You can't just jump in and be I got a brush.
Right.
So roofing probably has to be that same way. But one of the things that scared me as a kid was cleaning out my grandparents' gutters.
Yeah.
Was heights ever an issue for you when you're up on these?
I hate them.
30-degree roof?
I hate heights.
Yeah. Do you get used to it after?
It's just something that comes with the territory.
Yeah.
And you just got to be cautious. They have certain boots that we wear. They're called Kruger paws.
Okay.
And they grip to the roof. But yeah, it's something that you need to be conscious of, and, tell the guys, don't do anything you don't feel comfortable with, right? But there's drone technology nowadays that we can deploy drones and get a lot of what we need from the drones.
Okay.
But there's nothing like putting your hands on a product and checking the flashings and doing those
things. Checking for soft spots.
Checking for soft spots, walking, feeling if there's any soft plywood. But it's like anything else. You gotta be respectful of it and don't take it for granted and be cautious.
Well, one of the big things that I'm sure you hear a lot and that probably a lot of consumers are concerned with is there's a ton of fly-by-night companies, right?
Yeah.
And they are the ambulance chasers of the house world, right?
Yeah.
And they're following storms.
Yep.
So when you're combating that, or to a would-be consumer, what would you say to look out for? Or what questions would you have them ask?
Well,
to know if this is a good deal or not.
I think this can go for whether it's roofing or whatever trade, insert the trade there. And you're right, especially in the roofing industry, we have a ton of fly-by-night guys. It's, roofs are expensive, and guys will come in and they'll get money and then they'll just run.
Right.
And there's a lot of people receiving money from insurance claims. And so the insurance pays them, And sometimes people just think, hey, if they don't choose the right contractor, the insurance is just going to step in and help them out. That's not how it works. So when choosing a contractor, the first and foremost, you want to make sure that they're properly insured, right? They need to have general liability and they need to have workman's comp. Okay. Workman's comp is very expensive.
So insurance for their employees as well.
Yeah, for their employees as well, because what happens is, somebody gets hurt, they're sitting at home, they're watching TV, and one of these personal injury attorneys come on and says, hey, have you been hurt? And then they call them, and, homeowners are liable. So if your contractor doesn't have the proper insurance, the employee can sue you and come after you and your insurance company. So it can be very bad if you don't do your due diligence. A lot of guys knock on doors. That's how they generate their business. You're going to want to look at the time that they've been in business. Do some due diligence. Look at their Google reviews. Look them up on BBB. It's important that you take the time to do your due diligence and make sure that the people that are providing services for you are qualified and that they're going to do right by you.
Right.
And if people want all the money up front or the payment terms, those are just things. If you don't feel good about them, there's probably a reason you don't feel good about them. And it doesn't hurt to bring other people in and get other opinions as well.
Well, and I've often heard also from friends or just, in my own experiences, there's a lot of these times too where the less reputable people are talking about how they can, for lack of a better word, scam the insurance company.
Yes.
I can put money back in your pocket.
Yeah.
We can make this claim, we'll put money back in your pocket. And then they skimp on materials or flashing. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of roofs that don't have any flashing at all.
Yep.
They just put the tile up.
They reuse it, they reuse material.
Right.
And, the insurance companies, they're not paying to make these roofers rich, right, on each claim. It's these, a lot of them, the contractors will do insurance proceeds agreements or association of benefit agreements. And that's essentially you're signing your rights away to the contractor. And so they're going to go after the insurance company, whether you like it or not, for whatever they feel is rightfully owed, whether it is or not. And you turn over your rights and you don't know, you're signing something, you don't know what you're getting in return. And they haven't listed the products they're going to use. So it can be very detrimental to the overall process if you just turn your rights over and you don't know what you're getting.
Right. So what along those lines, what's the most rewarding part of the job for you?
Being able to help people through, when a storm event hits, people are, it's chaos, they don't know what to do. They don't know where to turn. We're a preferred contractor with a lot of insurance carriers. So what happens is people call and file a claim with their insurance company. Send us the information. We'll go out there. The first thing you want to do is mitigate any future losses, right? Get the place watertight. Talk to the consumer, give them some peace of mind, explain the process. Let them know these are the steps that are necessary in order to get your house back to the way it was or better before the storm came. People need peace of mind. These are very challenging times, and there's a lot of knee-jerk reactions that take place. So just encourage people to step back, take a breather, and get with a professional that can help you through the situation. And
how important, we do it with cars all the time. Everybody always talks about, you keep oil in your car, it'll run 300,000 miles, whatever the case is, right? And outside of diesel trucks, I don't know that to ever be true with any vehicle I've ever owned for sure. But what about roof maintenance? That's something I've never heard anybody talk about, but that's got to be a thing, right? Like when I see debris or sticks on my roof, I try and get up there as soon as possible and get that off. And gutters, keeping those clean, right?
Keeping those clean. Yeah, a lot of people neglect the roofs, right? They focus on everything from the gutters down. That's what they see. That's what they like to look at. But with the roofs, I mean, if you get out and you maintain your roofs, you clean the gutters, prevent the algae growth, right? You check the flashings. It's important to have a roofer come out once a year and just take a look at things and get out in front of it. And that can be said for a lot of things, right? But if you can get out in front of issues, check the pipe jacks, make sure there's no cracks or the neoprene's not cracking and going to cause an issue. So get out in front of it.
Is the neoprene the layer of the tar paper?
No, it's the, so there's a couple options. You can use lead boots, which is the preferred option, or bullet boots is what we use. But a lot of times with the newer homes, they'll just slide a neoprene boot over the pipe stack. And what happens is, those neoprene
okay. So this is on those old houses where you see people just tar it.
Well, there's that takes place, but they crack, and there's just a variety of things that you see happen with the roof. It's you'll never been cease to be amazed. It's funny what you come across, but
is that one of the cooler technologies that's kind of come out with that stuff, or there's been some innovations within the time period?
There's a lot of.
I'm going to assume, since we're the same age, that you've been doing this a while, right?
Yeah, 17 years.
Yeah.
And I've owned Tesson Roofing for 15 years of it. So, there's been a lot of really cool technology, whether it's from pulling aerial measurements.
Okay.
When I first got out into the field, I was running tape measure and get on the roof. We'd sketch the roof, and we'd have to do all the math and everything. And now it's a couple of clicks of a button, and we can pull your aerial measurements. We have Google Images. It's just so much easier.
So it probably saves you on like material costs too, right? Less waste.
Yes, you're more accurate. These measurement programs are about 98% accurate. So, it's like, I tell my guys, you don't know how good you got it.
Right.
Back when I was starting off, this is how we did it.
Both sides of the roof were sloped.
Yeah,
they still are, but we don't have to get on as much.
Yeah. So, they got it easy.
What about employees? You talk about not telling guys they don't know how good it has. In labor, especially, the most difficult thing that I've talked with other individuals about, and their pain point, is finding good employees.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in an employee? I feel like you've got a lot of guys that have worked for you for a long time.
Yeah.
Is it a family mentality, or how are you going about that?
Yeah, culture is extremely important. When I sit down and talk to somebody, or one of my guys sits down and talks to somebody, interviews them, what we want to know is, do they have a servant's heart, right? You can teach people roofing. That's easy, right? But principles and morals, they're very hard to teach, right? People, you either have them or you don't have them, and people have different principles and morals. So we want people with servant hearts that are going to serve the people that we come across the right way. Do it, and don't do it in a self-serving way, right? We always say, put your wants, needs, and desires aside, and things will work out.
Yeah, if you do that, the money follows.
Yeah, money's a byproduct of how well you serve people.
Right. And your recommendations. Because I'm sure that there's many times where you're not just doing one roof on a block.
Right.
Right, because that's what it is.
Multiple roofs.
What about emergency calls and that kind of thing? Is Tesson Roofing a place that somebody could call for a hole in their roof?
Yeah. Yes, you can. And we provide emergency services.
Okay.
We get out there and get things watertight, and that's what needs to happen.
Are you dealing with remediation at all, or is that, do you have people that?
Yeah, we refer that out to other insurance certified providers.
But no need to panic. If a tree comes in limb, you can go in there and help them that whole process.
Yes, we'll help them with the whole process and get them watertight so they can start the process of getting their home back to the way it was, or their commercial building.
So 17 years to 2024. So you started this in 2013?
2009.
2009. So I'm bad at math.
Is my math bad? I'm bad at math too.
We'll get it on the replay. We'll see.
That's around 2009. And
2009.
Then around 2006, 2007.
So a lot of people don't do anything for longer than like 4 or 5 years nowadays. So that, if I'm not mistaken, in order to be considered an expert in your field, it's 11 years of the same thing.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Well, so at this point, you're an expert in your field. So that would mean you would come highly recommended. You wanted an expert in doing those things. With bringing customers in and doing the insurance and helping them with that part, where are some of the places that you find customers could be more informed going in? Besides asking the questions, besides asking the things, walking through choosing what type of roofing, for example, what areas would you wish that there was more information out there for people to know when you step into that situation?
Well, there's a variety of information. I mean, you know, sometimes you go into situations and they know everything because they've Googled it, right?
Yeah.
Google MD, you know, you go to your doctors and you already prescribed the diagnosis and what do you need them
I was
for,
dying
right?
of like 3 different things.
Right,
when
exactly.
that first came out.
That's right.
This might be my last month. WebMD was the worst thing to happen to me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good. So there's a wide range of resources out there. The thing I like a lot is the ability to show people visualizations of what the building or home looks like now and then what it could look like afterwards. And so I'm a very visual guy.
Yeah.
So it helps me. And it's neat to see some renderings of what the potential outcome could look like.
Yeah, it's like taking a wig
That's right.
and putting it in different parts of the head.
That's right.
So having the capability to look at things and doing renderings prior to getting up there, that's a whole new game changer. That I've never seen before. Usually it's like guys carrying in tons of books with samples and opening that up, and then people are picking it, and that part can be fun too, but I think the rendering has got to be a lot better. What is there or do you have, just in general, a philosophy that you live by or a motto that you carry into your career field that maybe is a life motto of yours that you try and instill upon your people?
Yeah. You mean you want to have a servant's heart. We pray before every meeting. I just say we give it to God and let the chips fall where they may. And I think if you just do right by people, things will come into place, right? And we really, I mean, our motto is money's a byproduct of how well you serve people, right? And we really focus on the servant side of things, not the money side of things.
Yeah.
We don't have any problems getting clientele, right? Because people know that we care, whether it's your business building, your home, whatever. If we're going to get involved with it, we're going to do it right.
Treat it like it's your own.
Treat it like it's our own. If there's issues, then we're going to fix them. There's been some serious issues over the years.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. It's not pretty at all. But it's all about how you handle the situation. That's something that completely, that can separate you from other companies.
Yeah, a lot of contractors aren't going to come back and own their mistakes.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We've had to re-roof houses before.
On your own dime?
Yeah. And it was necessary.
Yeah.
Because for one reason or another, it just didn't pass our qualifications, and we re-roof them.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of the way it is. People, they expect to get quality products, quality service, craftsmanship, and that's what they're going to get with us. And if they don't, then we're going to fix it. We're going to make sure that they do at the end of the day.
Well, that's good, because from a business standpoint, that gains you word of mouth. But from a personal standpoint, that's got to help you sleep at night.
Yes, it helps me sleep well, and I sleep like a baby.
I bet you some of these town drifters are probably sleep pretty well too, just because of their nature, but not for the right reasons, right? So where can people find you and get a hold of you guys at?
Well, you can go online to tessonroofing.com, Tesson, like the street, the road, or you can call 314-932-1042, and someone from our team will be more than happy to help.
All right, excellent. Well, I appreciate it today, and for those of individuals that are watching that didn't get a chance to write this stuff down, there'll be a link at the bottom of this, and we look forward to talking to you again sometime.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's an honor to be here.
All right, thanks, Eric.
Sure.